Hello, and welcome to our new webinar. Today, we will talk about how to shut down a blockchain project. My name is Chris, webinar analyst for Empire Global Partners, and I'm glad to be your virtual guide through this training. Before we get started, I wanted to direct your attention to the email address here on the screen, info@empireglobal.partners. This is the best way to get in touch with us about anything we go over here today, and we love hearing from you. We welcome all questions and comments. Please use this email to send your questions. They will come directly to our representatives who monitor this email 24/7. So I assure you that you will receive a reply to all of your questions quickly and confidentially. For those of you who do not know us, let us introduce ourselves. Empire Global Partners is an international consultancy firm that has served clients from all over the world, with a network of attorneys, accountants, and consultants who are pioneers in strategic legal planning for online casinos, banking, and cryptocurrency. They represent hundreds of cryptocurrency companies and several cryptocurrency exchanges where top tokens are traded. The creator of this and our other webinars is Lionel Eyrich, the expert on the topic of cryptocurrency at Empire Global Partners. Lionel is well known across the globe as an expert in the cryptocurrency, online gaming, and international business space, representing thousands of companies. Lionel is Senior Managing Counsel for Empire Global Partners, and he is a legal counsel and advisor for hundreds of companies in over 40 countries. All content provided here is for informational purposes only and is not to be substituted for legal advice. A money business is a highly regulated sector, and all steps that you take when considering starting or operating your exchange must comply with the law. The experts at Empire Global Partners have worked with thousands of clients to help them make the right decisions for their particular situation and jurisdiction, and minimize any extra costs or fines that could arise from legal oversight. It is highly recommended to get in touch with your legal team as soon as possible about this process. Let's move on to the topic. Creating a new cryptocurrency or token involves substantial work over a long time by a dedicated team, and every team involved with a blockchain project desires that its project is successful. Things may, however, not always go to plan, and you may be required to plan to shut down your pet blockchain project. There may be many reasons behind the need to shut down your project, including technical problems, attacks by cybercriminals, lack of investor support, regulatory changes, and of course, if there are unforeseen events such as a pandemic, which makes working as a team impossible. Deciding for shutting down a blockchain project may also involve a lot of stress, and the lack of a clear bankruptcy framework for blockchain projects makes it complicated and confusing for the founders. In this webinar, we will discuss the path for shutting down a blockchain project and how you can do it right. At the onset, we would like to recommend that immediately when you realize that you may be required to shut down a blockchain project, you should get in touch with professionals who have experience with the legal aspects of winding down a business and also blockchain law before you proceed further. It must be borne in mind that the process involves substantial legal and financial issues that require guidance from experts, and the sooner it is commenced, the greater the possibility for smooth and clean completion of the project. Moving ahead, the first step in shutting down a blockchain project is undertaking a detailed review of the current status of the project and its assets and liabilities. This assessment is generally done by the legal counsel of the venture in coordination with the accountant and the management of the company. At this stage, an assessment is also made if shutting down is the only resort available, or if there's an alternative through which the project could survive. Once the management, the legal counsel, and the accountants have realized that the functioning of the company as a going concern is no longer feasible, the formal steps for winding down the venture may commence. At the second step of the winding up process, the legal professionals are expected to lead the process and prepare a detailed account of the different legal entities which would need to be wound up. A detailed analysis would also be required on separating the entities which could continue to exist after the winding up process is complete. It is essential to ensure that no communication is made to any party regarding this process, since communications about bankruptcy or winding up may be considered as sensitive in many jurisdictions. And any information asymmetry among the different stakeholders may lead to liabilities. The third stage generally involves the passing of a resolution by the partners or the board of directors to file for bankruptcy and winding up before an appropriate court or tribunal. There may be multiple filings required before different courts in many jurisdictions if many companies linked to the blockchain project are sought to be closed at the same time. During this third stage, the company going forward for a shutting down process prepares a strategy to be presented to the court or tribunal as a part of the winding up process. This strategy generally contains information about how the company is going to settle the debts of the existing debtors, and also contains a proposal for the appointment of an administrator who will operate the company in the winding up process and settle the claims of the debtors. For blockchain companies who only have dues towards the token purchasers who could not be provided with a token or a functional project where the token could be utilized, an alternative may be provided wherein they may be given an option to receive another token. In exchange, a final settlement may be obtained from the token purchasers. If the alternative for settlement cannot be reached, and in cases where there is no such option, we move on to determine and finally check if documentation is ready for moving to the courts in all required jurisdictions. The final checks are undertaken by the lead professionals who are coordinating the project on behalf of the founders. When the documents are ready, the lawyers on behalf of the company move to the fourth stage where they present their proposal to the court for declaring insolvency and winding up. Compared to the bankruptcy process for normal companies, where the debtors are general suppliers, service providers, and banks that had provided loans, in the case of a blockchain project, it may also have people who had made payments for a future token. When the request for commencement of insolvency proceedings is accepted by the court, the administrator is requested to invite claims from all the debtors. The claims will then be accepted by the administrator, and ultimately the court will decide the number of funds that will be received by each of the debtors after the settlement process. At the final stage, when the time for submission of claims has been completed, the administrator may approach the court again to decide on a plan to sell off the remaining assets to interested buyers and settle the creditors. While the different stages have been sought to be explained simply, they involve complex issues of law, and experts need to be involved. Therefore, it is recommended that you get in touch with a professional in the area of blockchain insolvency at the earliest if you feel that you may need to shut down your blockchain project. We at Empire Global Partners have worked with hundreds of blockchain projects, and we will provide you with the necessary assistance to move ahead with the same. With our team of global experts, we are available to deal with requests for shutting down blockchain projects in multiple countries across the world. We also look forward to your comments and questions, and you can get in touch via our website or our email. Be sure to send any questions you have to info@empireglobal.partners, which will come directly to our representatives, and someone from the team will reply to all emails very quickly. The website is empireglobal.partners. Lots of great information on there as well, and we would love to connect with you on social media. We are always curious to know how you're doing, or have questions or comments. We want to hear about it. So make sure you find us on Facebook at Empire Global Partners, Twitter at Empire Globals, Medium at Empire-Global, and we are also on YouTube. On behalf of Empire Global Partners, I want to thank you so much for joining us. See you at the next webinar.